High Representative, good morning, and again, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for being with us today. So let me start with my first question. This is your first trip to Kazakhstan and also the region, right? You've held some very important meetings so far in Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. Now it is expected that you will have meetings later today with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Kazakhstan and also the President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev. So the EU considers Kazakhstan as a strategic partnership. The economic relations are developing very good under the agreement of enhanced partnership and cooperation. My question here is, how does the EU envision its further engagement with Kazakhstan?
Well, like you said, Kazakhstan is a very important partner to us, and we can definitely develop our relationship further when it comes to environmental issues, when it comes to energy, when it comes to trade as well. There are many points of cooperation. The partnership is based on different elements, and of course we can always find additional elements to it. Whether it's critical raw materials that, of course, Europe is in great need and where we can cooperate, whether it's also education, also that your young people can participate in the programs put forward by Europe. I think there are many cooperation points, and of course, living in this very difficult security environment, security is also something that we definitely will discuss.
Yeah, we will address it also a little bit later. Let me ask you in more details about the cooperation in energy sector, because this sector is very important here in Kazakhstan. It's one of the major sectors of the Kazakh economy. Now Kazakhstan is on its way to make a transition into the green agenda. It has pledged to achieve carbon neutrality by 2060. And the big part of this transition is also the so-called rare earth material market. So the interest is obviously there, and there are a lot of different players, different global partners who are interested in this market. So how does EU, again, envision its participation in these markets particularly?
Well, we have the know-how, we have technology, and I can see this as a mutual cooperation. Like you say, it's the green and digital transition that needs a lot of minerals or critical raw materials to really be implemented. But it's also, if you think about the green transition, then it's good for the environment, it's good for the people in general, and it's also good for the planet. So this goes hand in hand. And of course, I mean, we can bring the know-how, we can also bring investments, what are needed in order to develop these sectors even further. And what comes to energy, then Europe is interested in diversifying its energy portfolio, because in the past we have made a mistake to put all the eggs in one basket. That's why it's good to have more partners to diversify, not only to have different partners, but also to have different sources of energy, renewables, but also different sources, so that they balance out each other.
And I think we're also here talking about the facilitation of this transition process here in this region, and also like broader between the European Union and Central Asia.
Yes, the facilitation is also very important. Of course, we don't see the green transition as something, in its just for the green transition. We see it as also economic, but also environmental opportunities. So it's opportunities for the people, the jobs that it brings, but also the cleaner environment it brings, and that that is very much related also to the better health of people and good benefits.
And it also opens up negotiations for the investments, right?
Yes, exactly.
In the sector.
That is also what I'm saying, that economical benefits, so the investments coming in, the jobs created also for the locals and the prosperity for the local society.
Yes, economic dialogue is very important, is vital, because it facilitates process, it opens up opportunities to implement really important initiatives and projects. But what about political dialogue? You've mentioned security issues, this is very important. And if we talk about Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan is known for its multilateral approach in its foreign policy. So how, again, European Union and Kazakhstan and Central Asia enhance political engagement?
I think we are living in this very turbulent world, and that's why we need to find partners globally. That's why we are also, going in depth and strengthening our relationship with Central Asia. We had yesterday a Central Asian ministerial meeting, and we will have next week Central Asian EU summit to deepen our cooperation in different aspects. And because, if we take the Central Asian countries, you are in also geographically in a difficult position if you look this picture. So you can't choose your neighbors, but it's clear that what we see happening in the world, it is also presenting a threat. So we need to address these threats really together. What more can we do as collectively? Also to have these partnerships, not only that the Central Asian countries are working together, but also that EU and Central Asia find mutual cooperation points.
How do you assess this work so far? How much progress do we have in that terms?
Well, there is a lot to do, I would say. It's a good foundation, but there's still a lot to do, and I think the political dialogue also about the different threats is very important to acknowledge what are the threats in your region, what are the threats in our region, and what are the mutual issues and where we can find mutual cooperation points.
You've mentioned the upcoming very important historic event, EU Central Asia Summit, which will be held next week in Uzbekistan. So what are your expectations prior to this event, and what do you think are the main objectives of the event like this?
Well, yesterday we had a very good meeting on the foreign ministers level, so preparing for the summit. So we were also there recognizing the different points that could be deliverables at the summit. And we found many points when it comes to trade cooperation, also when it comes to energy, but also transport. The Trans-Caspian transport corridor, for example, also people-to-people contacts, to have a regular change of young diplomats, for example, the cooperation on the education field when it comes to Erasmus Plus and also the network for scientists to do the research cooperation and also exchange views.
This all become possible, I think, thanks to this C5+ format cooperation, where we have the countries of Central Asia and the European Union as a partner from the other side. So how do you assess these formats, and what can we expect from the work within this format in the years to come?
Well, I think everybody has recognized that regions are stronger when they work together. This applies to Europe. When we are united, we are strong, and that also applies to Central Asia. And I'm very happy that Central Asian countries have found possibilities to really work together, because we know from history it hasn't always been the case. We see a good improvement, like the border agreement between Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. I think it's a very good sign.
Ahead of the meetings today with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, with the President, most importantly, with the President of Kazakhstan, what will be your main message from the European Union?
My main message is let's find more cooperation points and go really into deep, because I also want to hear from your president, from your foreign minister, the understanding also of the security situation, how you see this, situation evolving. It is very interesting for me to understand your perspectives as well.
Can we say that that the European Union is willing to work together with Kazakhstan, with countries of this region, to address those issues and to try to solve them?
Yes, we are willing to work together with the region, but also Kazakhstan particularly, to try to find ways to solve these issues when it comes to also trade, finding new trade partners, economical partners. I think it's mutually beneficial for you as well as for us, finding new ways to invest, also to develop projects further. I think there are many points of cooperation, and also, I mean, I welcome the decision that the negotiation on the visa facilitation agreement will be going further, which means also in the future, if everything goes well, possibilities for the people.
Yes, that would be great. That would be great again for the people-to-people contacts and to
yes.
Enhancing this area. Thank you very much, High Representative, for your time and for the answers you've given us today.
Thank you.